So, the past 3 months have been like really great.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I love you.
That, my sexy single ladies, is that awkward moment when someone tells you that they love you when you're not quite there yet. And contrary to popular opinion and according to a recent study that came out, men actually fall in love much sooner than women. So if you've ever been in a situation like this where a guy just dives in too deep, too quickly, way too soon, then keep watching this video because I'll tell you exactly how to respond. Keep watching. Hey there, Adam Littleton from sexyconfidence.com, where I help you create your love story. And this was a recent question I received from one of my Love Accelerator clients. We have a private community forum where they can connect with me at any time of day and ask me any question that they ever could ask about love, dating, relationships, and men. And this woman asked this question: how does one handle it when he says, "I love you" too soon, like within a few weeks of dating? One of these was even after 3 months of courting, but we had just started dating exclusively and I was not there. It almost feels like this is a sort of manipulation to pressure me into saying it back, which I don't, and tying me down. Well, believe it or not, this is very common, and this is actually becomes even more common with a lot of my clients as they start to apply the little love steps to their life. As you start to learn our pacing strategies, which is slowing things down, men actually even want to speed things up sooner. But this is also true across the board, that men tend to fall in love sooner than women. And we don't know exactly why this is the case, but my theory is that men tend to be much more, I want it now, they want stimulation quickly, whereas women tend to be a little bit more risk averse. And I should say that you should follow your instinct of being risk averse and slowing things down. Very rarely do I ever see there being problems with slowing things down, and more often than not, I see problems where people just dive in too quickly. So follow that intuition. So now the question is, what do you say to these guys? Well, in this question, there are two very distinct different scenarios. The first one is you've only been seeing each other for 2 weeks, which is very different than the second scenario where you've been seeing each other exclusively for 3 months. So let's start with the first one. If you've only been seeing each other for a few weeks and someone has the gall to say, "I love you" at that stage, just go with a total deflection strategy, such as like, whoa, 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 hold your horses, buddy. We barely even know each other. And just kind of like laugh it off a little bit. And by the way, those little sensors up there that should be looking out for red flags everywhere you go should be like red hot screaming red flag if someone is telling you that they love you, having only known you for a couple weeks. So shrug it off, deflect it, even make a little bit of a joke about it. And then from that point forward, be very, very cautious. Typically when guys dive in that quickly, they tend to be very emotionally volatile because they just follow every single impulse they have. And this is going to be the type of guy where if you just dive in head first with this guy, it might end up being a good couple months, maybe. It might be all over the map, but it'll still be a couple months. But once it burns out, he's then gonna move on to the next relationship. This is why I teach the little love steps. And little love step number 5 is called pace the progression of your connections. Slow things down because it enables you to create a real connection with each other, not just a connection based on lust. Now let's jump on to this second scenario, which is you've been dating this guy for the past 3 months. It's exclusive. Things seem to be going pretty well. But now he just told you he loves you and you're not sure if you feel the same way. The reason why this is different than the first scenario is because it's within reason that someone could be falling for another person after 3 months. Now, this doesn't mean you need to reciprocate in this situation, and I do not recommend you ever tell someone that you love them unless you actually mean it. So what I recommend you do is not do a deflection strategy, but instead an affirmation strategy. Affirm how you feel about him and the relationship. Tell him that you've really enjoyed getting to know him and you'd like to explore things further. Something kind of like this: look, I think you're amazing too, and I'm excited to see where this goes, but I'm at a stage in my life where I don't want to just dive in too quickly. Those words mean a lot to me, and I just want to continue getting to know you before I'm able to fully respond. What this does is communicates to him that you are being very intentional and being smart about your love life. More importantly, it's telling him that you care. I mean, you actually care about him. You're not going to just deflect. You're not going to just try to avoid any conversation about that. You're just being real with him. And everything I just said should probably be true about your life. And if you're at a point in your life where you are ready to attract that that man in that relationship that will last the rest of your life, then I recommend you learn the Little Love Steps. I have a free training at littlelovesteps.com where you can just dive right in. I'm going to teach you the 7 little love steps, and this is a proven path to go from being single, lost, alone, scared in love and dating, all the way to attracting that relationship that is fully aligned with your life vision. So head on over there. We'll also leave a link in the description that you can check out. And finally, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever been in a relationship where a guy says, "I love you," way too fast? How did you respond? And finally, if you haven't given this video a like on YouTube or a heart on Instagram, please go ahead and do that. That sends a lot of love my way. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe or follow me on any of those channels because we have a lot of content coming your way and you're not gonna wanna miss a single thing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you, you sexy single lady, next week. Bye-bye.